ready.
Welcome to another edition of Adams Cable High School Football, and today from Lakeland Stadium, it's week number 6 of Lackawanna Football Conference Division II action as the Lakeland Chiefs will take on the Honesdale Hornets. All brought to you today by Adams Cable Service, by the Comfort Doctors, T.E. Spall & Son, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing of Carbondale, by Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center, Nick's Excavating and Paving, by your local Napa Auto Parts stores, Carbondale Auto Parts, and Honesdale Auto Parts, by NJS Systems and Controls, Route 6 Mayfield, by the White's Crossing Sports Shop, Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, with locations at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, your source for quality tires, by Pioneer City Insurance at its new location, 620 Poplar Street, Mayfield, and your starting lineups presented today by the Roselle Department Store. Alongside Glenn Muskowski, Chris Nanfelt, Gabriel Suarez from Frankie Carl Productions, Kyle Kemmerer, and Claire Seymour at Adams Cable. I'm Steve Young. Great to have you on board tonight for week number 6 of high school football, and it should be a good one, as undefeated Lakeland will take on the Honesdale Hornets. And Glenn, when you take a look at both of these ball clubs, Lakeland, of course, comes in undefeated, coming off of the win over Old Forge, 47-20, while the Hornets of Honesdale had a shutout win at Tunkhannock, 34-0. And here tonight, Lakeland will face the number 2 defense in the Lackawanna Football Conference, the Honesdale Hornets.
Well, Steve, Lakeland last week against Old Forge really did switch their whole thing around. They ran the ball more than they passed the ball. So they're probably saving some stuff for the second half of the season. They should be ready to go. They're healthy, although Honesdale probably has 2 guys out that are big in their lineup, in Cage Southerton and Isaac Carmody. So they'll have to replace those 2 guys, and that may be pretty difficult to do.
Well, last week in the shutout win over Tunkhannock, Honesdale featured a very balanced attack, carrying the football 41 times for 165 yards, and they threw the football 9 of 13 for 181 yards and 346 total. Now, the defense was the name of the game last week as they shut out Tunkhannock, and Honesdale will be very physical in tonight's ball game. They've got size, as does Lakeland, and for the Chiefs, as you mentioned, Glenn, they showed a different look last week. Usually they throw the football probably 90% of the time, but last week they only attempted 9 passes in that ball.
Well, you know, and they have the speed. They have the running backs, and of course, Steve, you all know they have the men up front. They have bulk up front, and they have power up front. So maybe this game is going to boil down to what line of scrimmage takes over, the offensive line or the defensive line, and whoever can push that other team down the field could probably come out with a big win tonight.
So we have high school football here in week number 6 on Adams Cable. It's Honesdale and Lakeland. More pregame highlights coming up after this timeout here on Adams Cable High School Sports.
Save a check, save a stamp, and save yourself time with Adams Cable Easy Pay. A simple one-time setup of automatic payments from your preferred bank account or credit card is all you need to do to enroll. It's fast, convenient, secure, and best of all, free. Never worry about a late payment again. Adams Cable makes it effortless. For more information regarding online payment options and to enroll in Easy Pay, please visit adamscable.com.
You deserve expert heating, cooling, and plumbing service. So just call Spall. T.E. Spall & Son has been serving northeastern Pennsylvania with expert customer service for 36 years in all phases of residential and commercial heating, cooling, and plumbing. So just call Spall for the expert service you deserve. Visit them at callspall.com. For service, remember, just call Spall. When you need collision repair, turn to the professionals at Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center to restore your vehicle back to its original condition. For over 34 years, Beston's has been providing full-service collision repair with exceptional customer service. At Beston's, their motto is, every job is perfect or it doesn't leave the shop. Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale, the trusted name in collision repair in northeastern Pennsylvania. Back at Lakeland Stadium on this beautiful Friday night for high school football, it's the Honesdale Hornets and the Lakeland Chiefs. How did we get to week number 6, my friends? Well, Honesdale opened up the season suffering a tough loss, 15-13 at the hands of Wallenpaupack. In week 2, they defeated Wyoming area 21-0. Week 3, they were defeated by Valley View 35-17. Then they knocked off Lackawanna Trail in a good ball game, 14-12. And of course, last week posting the shutout win over Tunkhannock. Lakeland opened up their season with a 41-14 win over Prep. They defeated Carbondale 52-7, Riverside 34-0, and Susquehanna 63-7. And then last week came away with a 47-20 victory over the Old Forge Blue Devils.
Number 52, center John Claus.
Steve, okay, we're better. Okay, yeah, Lakeland is tough. They have everything going for them. They have the as I said, the brood up front. They have the speed, and it was Spataro passing and running. Honesdale's going to have their hands full. But don't kid yourself. Honesdale has been playing well, so we shall see.
Well, last week in the win, 47-20 over Old Forge, Lakeland turned to that running game. John Siemens, Domenico Spataro, Evan Poaches, they all led the way, and they had a total of 304 yards rushing on 37 attempts. So we'll see how things play out here tonight. But each and every week, if you notice, head coach of Lakeland, Dave Pawarczyk, puts in a new wrinkle, does something different, keeps you guessing. So we'll see what he does here tonight.
And he doesn't waste any time. He comes out firing, too.
Yeah, that's if they're throwing the football, right?
Yes.
So it's a beautiful night, as we mentioned. We will have the Call Spall game time weather coming up for you in just a moment as the co-captains go to the center of the field for the coin toss. And we will have your starting lineups brought to you today by the Roselle Department Store in just a moment.
For Lakeland, number 52, John Claus Walton, 12, John Siemens, number 6, Lakota Dupree, number 1, Domenico Spataro.
And as you look down on the 50-yard line, the coin toss. And we are just about set for week number 6 here at Lakeland Stadium.
Honesdale won the toss, deferred. Lakeland will receive.
So it will be the Honesdale Hornets kicking off to the Lakeland Chiefs to start the ball game. And now your starting lineups for today's game, presented by Roselle Department Store in Carbondale, where the contemporary styles in apparel are all on display. Visit Roselle for all your school clothing needs, including a full line of spirit wear for Carbondale area, Lakeland, Forest City, and Valley View. If you're attending a formal affair or a special event, let the experience of Sam Kalura work for you with a perfectly tailored tuxedo by Sarno & Son. Roselle is headquarters for professional laundry and dry cleaning services. Sam and the staff at Roselle Department Store in Carbondale are proud to present your starting lineups for today's game between the Honesdale Hornets and the Lakeland Chiefs after our national anthem.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was Olivia Warholic with our national anthem, and we are just about set for the kickoff. Week number 6 of high school football in the Lackawanna Football Conference Division II. It's the Honesdale Hornets and the Lakeland Chiefs. Now your starting lineups for today's game, brought to you by the Roselle Department Store. For Lakeland at tight end, Lakota Dupree, the senior. At split end, Riley Rovinsky. Adam Wormuth at left tackle. Lyndon Bello at right tackle. Luke Smurl will line up at left guard. Thomas Scalzo at right guard. And John Kloss Walton at center. Domenico Spatero quarterbacks the Lakeland offense. In the backfield, it's John Siemens and Evan Pochis, and the flanker is Kevin Snyder. Defensively, brought to you today by the Roselle Department Store. For Honesdale, Rocco Flock is at left end, Bennett Fritz at right end, Aaron Phillips at left guard, and the nose guard is Bryce Stone. The linebackers are C.J. Hinton, Tyler Winters, and Bradley Bibelow. The corners are Lance Peak and Cameron Hedgelon, and Max Mickle and Johnny Kaufman are in the secondary. Teeing up the football for the Honesdale Hornets, it will be Max Mickle, and 2 are deep for Lakeland, John Siemens and Ethan Shea. And here we go. Week number 6 is underway. And from inside the 10-yard line, Lakeland on the return, and that is John Siemens. And Siemens has one man to beat, and he's taken down at the 41-yard line.
Brought down by the kicker, Max Mickle. First down, Chiefs.
Well, when the kicker is making the tackle, you know you're in trouble.
One more step, and he was gone for a touchdown easily. Referees today, officials today, the referee is Jason McDermott, the umpire John Plasko, lineman Mark Lance, line judge Ray Boynton, side judge Christopher Thomas, chain official Frederick Sakachi, and field judge Noah Lance.
And Lakeland with its first possession of the ball game from its own 40-yard line. Spatero to keep coming to the near side, turns it upfield and picks up about 3 on the play. Your call, Spall, game time weather here at Lakeland Stadium. Cloudy skies, temperature of 55 degrees, humidity at 74%, and the wind is east at 5 miles per hour. Overnight, look for a low temperature of 49 degrees. Second down and 6 for Lakeland. And Spatero to survey the Honesdale defense. And Spatero with time fires downfield. He's got Dupree at the 35. Dupree is heading for the end zone, makes a cut, and is dropped inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Well, it didn't take long for Lakeland to move the football down the field against this Honesdale defense that has only been giving up about 12 points a ball game, averaging 12 a ball game. And right now the Chiefs are knocking on the door. First down and goal from the 7. This time Spatero comes up under center. And Spatero will give it to Dupree, and he plows inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line.
Dupree on the carry, brought down by Johnny Kaufman on the play.
He's a strong boy. I'll tell you, very difficult to bring him down. You have to wrap him up.
Lakeland moving quickly here on second and goal from the 3. We are scoreless with just about 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. And Spatero gives it to Dupree. He lowers the shoulder, drives toward the goal line, and he's got a touchdown. 3-yard touchdown run for Lakota Dupree. That is his 9th touchdown of the season. And very quickly, Lakeland has a 6-0 advantage. Well, different look for Lakeland. You don't see Dupree in the backfield too much. And right there, it paid dividends. Zach Janowski on for the extra point. He has converted on 23 this year to lead Division II. And Lakeland is out to a 7-0 lead over Honesdale as we go to a break.
Nick's Excavating and Paving of Carbondale is committed to providing professional service in residential and commercial excavating, land clearing and demolition, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Enhance your property with new paving and seal coating, mulch, or stone. For expert service on your next project, count on Nick's Excavating and Paving Carbondale.
Carbondale Auto Parts and Honesdale Auto Parts are a proud supporter of tonight's game between the Honesdale Hornets and the Lakeland Chiefs. Honesdale Auto Parts will open at its new location, 180 Grandview Avenue, Monday, October 3rd, with a larger inventory of auto parts, hydraulic hoses, tools, accessories, and more parking with easier access. Experience the Napa know-how difference with Honesdale Auto Parts, open Monday, October 3rd at their new location, 180 Grandview Avenue in Honesdale. A relatively short kickoff, and Honesdale will end up with great field position at its own 43-yard line.
Going to be first down, Honesdale. At the 43-yard line.
That is unusual for a Lakeland's kicker. That ball, he must have just mishit it. I don't think it was an onside kick.
Honesdale Hornets are coached by Paul Russick in his 3rd season. Overall, a record of 3 wins and 2 losses. They have scored 99 points while allowing 67. And this handoff will go to Max Mickle, and Mickle is in trouble, and he's decked at the 35.
Great penetration by the left side of the Lakeland defensive line.
Let's run down that Lakeland defense, brought to you tonight by the Roselle Department Store. They are averaging only 9.6 points per game defensively, and Luke Smurl at left end, Lakota Dupree at right end, Adam Warmuth at left tackle, John Kloss Walton is at the right tackle, Andrew Gelderman and Chris Shimola are the linebackers, and a bad snap. It will be Mickle falling on it at the 20, and now Honesdale in deep trouble as they will be facing a long yardage situation. Ethan Shea lines up at left corner, Kevin Snyder at right corner, Evan Pochis is the strong safety, John Siemens the free safety, and Riley Rovinski is the weak side safety. 3rd down and 31 yards to go for Honesdale. Aiden Collins, the sophomore quarterback at 6'2" and 190, will get set to run the offense.
We have a conversation, but I don't see a flag.
Well, the officials are still talking things over.
Lakeland feels like they...
They'll wave off the flag.
Okay. Lakeland players look like they thought they did something wrong. Probably stepped over the line of scrimmage offside, but guess not.
Well, the offense is still waiting for the word, and the official did wave off the flag. Here it goes. We're ready to rock as Collins will await the snap. Collins, with time, fires to the near side, and the pass is incomplete.
Collins pass.
That is not the way Honesdale wanted to start.
Now, Lance Peak was the intended receiver. He is a 5'8", 160-pound sophomore. So it will be 3 and out for the Honesdale Hornets, as Tyler Winters will come on to punt the football. 8:40 to play on the Colts Ball scoreboard here at Lakeland, and the Chiefs are out to a 7-0 lead over the Hornets. Winters fields a bad snap, and the football will bounce at the 40. It gets a Honesdale roll out to about the 43, and Lakeland will end up with great field possession to start this drive, 1st down and 10.
Winters' punt goes out of bounds.
You want to come out and you want to have a good opening series, but nothing happened right for Honesdale that time, Steve.
No, they got off to a rocky start right there, and once you get behind against this Lakeland team, it's almost like a snowball effect. You're rolling a big snowball down a hill. There's
just too many weapons.
They just have too much firepower, as Lakeland now will attempt to run the football, and Honesdale is right there to shut it down.
Evan Pochus, good penetration by the defense that time. Pochus lost 2 yards.
Well, he ran right into the nose guard, Bryce Stone. He's 5'10", 210 pounds, and a senior. 2nd down and 12 for the Chiefs. From the Hornet 42, as Dupree will get set to line up on the far side of the field.
4 receivers on this side of the field.
Well, a different look for the Chiefs. Spataro back to throw. That is complete. Snyder has it. He's at the 25 and taken down at the 23-yard line. That's good for a Lakeland 1st down, as Lance Peak came up to make the tackle for the Hornets.
Until Lakeland 1st down.
Well, each and every week when you watch Lakeland, they will give you a different look. And here in the first 5 minutes of this ball game, they have Honesdale confused defensively. Domenico Spataro fires the pass. It is complete as Dupree is wrestled out of bounds.
Spataro's pass complete to Lakota Dupree.
Max Mickle getting tangled up with Dupree. Now Dupree is 6'4" and 240. Mickle is 5'10" and 160. But Mickle did a good job from his strong safety position to take him down.
Gain of 6 out of play brings up 2nd and 4.
7:16 remaining in the first quarter. On the Colts Ball scoreboard, 7-0. Lakeland looking for more. And Spataro, as the pocket collapses, he will turn it upfield and zigzag his way across the line of scrimmage, and then is gang tackled by a host of Hornets.
Initial contact by
Rocco Fluck, the left end, at 6'4" and 230, leading the way with the pursuit.
I think if he stayed outside when he instead of cutting back in, he might have beat him to the end zone.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Across the defensive line for the Hornets, they average 215 pounds. Offensively, Lakeland across that front line, they average 248 pounds. 2nd down. Let's check it. 3rd down and short. From the Hornet 15. Spataro strung on the play, turns it upfield, looking for the end zone, and he has a 15-yard touchdown. Domenico Spataro turning it upfield, and it is 13-0 Lakeland. And this is what they do so well. Suddenly, you're playing defense, Glenn, you blink an eye and you're down 13-0.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes against Lakeland.
Zach Janowski on for the extra point out of the hold of Spataro. And Lakeland has a 14-0 lead with 6:27 to play as we go to a break.
What does it mean to be an expert? Does it mean getting the job done right? Or being able to pinpoint a problem and quickly find a solution? Whatever the meaning, the team in NJS are your experts in hydraulic and pneumatic components. So whether you need a custom hose built on the spot or a cylinder repaired from the ground up, the experts at NJS are there when you need them. And with the area's largest hose and fittings warehouse, NJS has thousands of the parts you need in stock and ready to go. NJS NJS Route 6 Mayfield, online at njsco.com. NJS is proud to call this area home and proud to sponsor our area athletes on Adams Cable Channel 7.
Fourteen to nothing, Lakeland, your leader, with 6:27 to play here in this first quarter in week number 6 of high school football. Lakeland tees it up, and they will kick off to the Honesdale Hornets. And another short kick taken by an upback at the 45-yard line of Honesdale, and that was Lance Peak.
Well,
and Honesdale will have good field position, but now what can you do with it?
Yeah, that's key.
Lance Peak recovers the kick.
They have to just back up, get settled down, and run their offense.
45-yard line.
Right now, the Hornets will try to get on track, trailing early in this football game. And the sophomore quarterback, Aiden Collins, will hand it off, and Max Mickle has it for the Hornets across the line of scrimmage for a short gain on the play. Coming into this football game, Mickle with 67 attempts, 317 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He also has 4 catches for 61 yards and has scored a total of 31 points this season. Second down and 7. Lakeland shows blitz right here, and Collins looks to the far sideline. We may have a timeout coming. Or are they going to take the play clock right down? Play clock at 7. And Collins now flushed out of the pocket. Fires on the run. Passes complete on the far side to Tyler Winters for a first down.
Collins pass complete to Tyler Winters. Brought down by
Well, somebody on Honesdale made a great block on Lakota Dupree. Dupree was in hot pursuit that time, and the block took him out of the play. And it's a first down and 10 for the Honesdale Hornets as they operate from the Lakeland 34-yard line. Collins will reset the play. And he will hand it off. And they advance the football to the Lakeland 30.
C.J. Hinton.
Hinton, a senior, 5'11", 180 pounds, 39 attempts, about 205 yards and a touchdown this season for the Honesdale Hornets. Second and 6. Honesdale from the Lakeland 30-yard line. Hedgelon in motion. And they will go with the running attack, and Lakeland is right there to bottle him up.
They're swarming to the ball.
That was C.J. Hinton getting the call, and
pick up
just got back to about the line of scrimmage.
Down by Chris Chamola. Andrew Gelderman.
Big play right here for Honesdale. They would like to sustain the drive and keep this going as they trail 14-0 as we near 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter on the Call Ball scoreboard. Johnny Kaufman in motion. Collins fires, and Kaufman, did he come up with the catch? Incomplete.
Oh, it looked like he had.
And
it
even
too.
if he did, he would have paid the price.
Collins pass intended for Kaufman falls incomplete.
That was very good coverage on that play.
Coverage on the play by Kevin Snyder and John Siemens.
Snyder had him wrapped up and just knocked that ball away right at the last second.
And right now, Honesdale will face 4th down and 6 yards to go.
I think they're probably going to go for this. If they punt the ball and it goes into the end zone, they're going to bring it back out to the 20 anyway, or it's only a difference of about 5 yards.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose right here. You just don't want to throw an interception. As Collins is in trouble, and the pass falls incomplete. No flag on the play.
Spatero was all over him.
Pass falls incomplete. Pressure on the play.
And Lakeland will take over possession of the football on downs, 1st and 10 at its own 30-yard line. Lakeland Chiefs lead Division II in offense. They average 392 total yards per game. Domenico Spataro leads Division II in passing, and he is third in rushing behind Luke Januszewski of Western Wayne, the leading rusher in Division II. 4 wideouts on the near side for Lakeland. Spataro flushed out of the pocket, steps up.
Plenty of time.
Looking, fires at the last minute. It is complete. Kevin Snyder has it, draws a crowd, and then is caught at the midfield stripe. And Lakeland will sustain the drive with a first down.
Oh, he had plenty of time. Good blocking up front.
And did you notice, Glenn, he was rolling out and knew right where that line of scrimmage was. New set of downs for Lakeland with 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. And now a different look offensively for the Chiefs. As Evan Pochis will run the football, he has a first down and carries the football to the Hornet 30-yard line.
Evan Pochis on the carry, brought down by Johnny Compton.
A good 20-yard run.
Well, Glenn, earlier in the year, Lakeland was primarily 90% passing, and now they're mixing it up here in week number 6, and they have a 14-0 lead, looking for more with just about 3 minutes to play in the first quarter as the Chiefs will run it once again. Pochis getting the call.
Brought down by Aaron Phillips on the play.
Coming into this ball game, over 50 attempts and about 380 yards, 3 touchdowns, has scored a total of 18 points this year for the Chiefs.
The key for Lakeland, if when they're running the ball, if the hole is there and the big line gives them many opportunities to run through a hole, they're gone.
2nd and 8. Pochis looking for the edge, turns it
nice
upfield, and is run out of bounds near the 20.
Evan Pochis forced out of bounds by C.J. Hinton, but not till Lakeland. First down.
Well, Lakeland keeps it going, and Glenn, if you notice, Lakeland is working even quicker this week. Well, usually no huddle offense, but this week they are moving even quicker to keep Honesdale on its heels. Spataro rushes on, and he will be taken down at the line of scrimmage with a flag on the play.
That must have been a hold. I didn't see the referee. I was probably a hold on there. What else would it be from throwing by the referee?
Calls holding against Lakeland.
And that will move the football to the 31-yard line and bring up first down and long yardage. Let's check that. The 36 is the official spot of the football. 1st and 10 with under 2 minutes left in the first quarter here at Lakeland Stadium. Great to have you on board tonight for Adams Cable High School football. Spataro will direct a little traffic now in the backfield. 3 wideouts on the near side. Spataro rolling out, fires on the run, and the pass is complete to Riley Rovinski. And Lance Peak. Boy, he's been playing a great first quarter of football.
Late flag here. Something happened.
As the officials will talk things over at the line of scrimmage. Holding once again.
Well, that's 2 plays where it cost them a bunch of yards.
Sideline warning.
So right here, with that penalty, It will spot the football at the Lakeland 46 and bring up first down
36.
and 36 yards to go. Woo.
You know, notice Spatero in the backfield, Steve. He's very, very calm. Nothing worries him. He's looking downfield.
Well, he has a lot of time.
Yeah, he's plenty of time. And he's very patient in what he does.
3 wideouts on the near side for the Chiefs on the first down play. Here comes the heat from Honesdale. This pass is complete. Rovinski has it along the near sideline, then drilled at the 32-yard line by Johnny Kaufman, the free safety of Honesdale. Now that's what you needed. Get a little bit of it back and try to find something manageable. Now
a little bit at a time, yep.
Now we'll have the second down play coming up as we have 56 seconds remaining in this first quarter at Lakeland Stadium on this beautiful Friday night. On the Call Spall scoreboard, Lakeland up 14-0. Second and 23 for the Chiefs. And we have a flag. Came from the near sideline.
False start.
False start against Lakeland. They'll bring up second and 28.
Second and long yardage for Lakeland, averaging 47 points a ball game. Coached by Dave Pawarczyk in his 4th year with a career mark of 25 wins and 9 losses. Spatero will survey the Hornet defense. He'll take that play clock right down, and Spatero steps up in the pocket, and there he goes. He will turn it upfield at the 30, and boy, he looked like he was going to make a cut there, Glenn, at about the 23-yard line, cut it back against the grain, but was run out of bounds to stop the clock with 23.5 seconds time remaining here in the first quarter.
Going to bring up third and 13.
From the 23-yard line, Lakeland on the third down play. Spatero faking the handoff. Here comes the rush, and the pass was intended for Poches. Good pressure right there by the Honesdale Hornets. C.J. Hinton leading the way defensively. And right here with 19 seconds to play in the first quarter, Lakeland will set it up once again. As Siemens will be wide on the top of your screen. Snyder and Dupree on the near side. Domenico Spatero awaits the snap. Back to throw. Fires. Looking
He's
end
open.
zone. He's got a man open, and it is incomplete, and a flag on the play.
Pass interference.
Pass intended for John Siemens.
John Siemens was in the corner, and the flag came out.
Pass interference against Honesdale.
And with 12 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter, the officials will spot the football. Let's check where it will go now. It's just a matter of where it will be spotted.
It's a 15-yard penalty. That's not 15 yards. That was like a first down.
Now we have a great crowd on hand for tonight's game here at Lakeland Stadium. Great football weather. And the spot will be at, let's check where they will mark it, at about the 11.
Wow.
Penalty makes it 4th and 1.
That was a short 15, wasn't it? That's like 2 yards difference than what it looked like before. Oh, well. Maybe it's my glasses.
Yeah. We have a little glass cleaner in the bag there, Glenn, if you'd like to use it. 4th down and 1. Lakeland from the 11 with 12 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Spataro rolling out. He's going to keep it. Looks to turn it upfield and then is caught and wrestled down at the 15-yard line.
What an adjustment the defense made on that play. Everybody was there waiting for Spataro to come around that turn. Good
job by the Honesdale defense, and they will take over possession of the football on downs with 6.9 seconds to play here in the first quarter at Lakeland Stadium. Well, right here, Glenn, at the 15-yard line, the last thing you want to do is turn the football over. We'll see what head coach Paul Russick in his 3rd season will do right here. As Collins will work out of the gun, and they'll play it safe and run the football. And that will bring an end to the first quarter of play here at Lakeland Stadium in Week 6 of high school football, with the Chiefs out to a 14-0 lead over Honesdale.
The White's Crossing Sports Shop, Canaan Street in Carbondale, is the leading authority for the outdoors in northeastern Pennsylvania. Visit them for a complete line of archery accessories, hunting and fishing licenses, live bait, fishing tackle, and LEM meat processing supplies. Call 570-282-4699 and be sure to check out their Facebook page. Finding that unique seasonal outdoor item has never been easier with help from Tom and the staff at the White's Crossing Sports Shop. Providing the ultimate in professional service is a tradition at Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, Carbondale. For more than 50 years, families in Carbondale and its surrounding area have used our 2 Hospital Street and 74 North Main Street locations for a traditional service, cremation or memorial services, or a service of personal preference. Contact Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated to handle every detail.
Second quarter of play about to get underway here at Lakeland Stadium at Chapman Lake, as Lakeland is out to a 14-0 advantage over the Hornets of Honesdale. Honesdale in possession of the football, 2nd down and 9 yards to go from its own 17-yard line. Collins will drop back in the pocket. Here comes the heat from Lakeland, and he is looking for his intended receiver, Lance Peak, and the pass falls incomplete.
For Lance Peak, falls incomplete.
Well, right there, the defense of Lakeland was putting the pressure on sophomore Aiden Collins that time. 2nd down, 3rd down, 3rd down and 9 from the 17-yard line for Honesdale, unable to generate any kind of serious offensive attack thus far. Collins airs it out.
He's
looking,
open.
He's got a man open, and
good.
it's batted away, and no flag on the play. Boy, that was close. Pass was intended for Cole Freese, the 6'3", 175-pound senior.
Can't see who batted that away.
Coverage on the play by Ethan Shea.
No, there's your answer.
Okay, there we go.
Tyler Winter is back in punt formation for Honesdale. Kevin Snyder to return for the Chiefs.
That's pretty good, Glenn. We could just sit here. We may not have to do too much commentary. That's pretty cool. Art Davis on the PA here at Lakeland Stadium. As Winters, the senior, will gets sent to punt for the Honesdale Hornets. And hang on, my friends, we have a whistle.
Delay a game is the call.
Wow.
Well, that
Nothing
hurts.
going right for Honesdale. Not yet, anyway. Wow.
Well, that's what happens. They got off to a bad start right from the first snap of the ball game, and that's a great punt.
Good roll.
Gets a Hornet roll out to the 41-yard line of Honesdale, and
Punt is down by
Lakeland
Robert
will
Quinn.
start this drive. First down and 10 from that point, up 14-0 on the Call Spall scoreboard. Well, as we mentioned, it's a beautiful night for high school football. Fortunately, Glenn, each and every Friday night has been comfortable, and
We have lucked out so far.
yes, we have.
Especially up here. You don't know what could happen up here.
As Lakeland will set it up offensively. Pochis takes the handoff. There he goes across the 35, heading for that first down marker, and maybe short by about a yard. And we may have a player shaken up for Honesdale, and there will be an injury timeout with 11 minutes and 28 seconds to play in the first half. Lakeland is up 14-0 over Honesdale.
Providing the ultimate in professional service is a tradition at Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, Carbondale. For more than 50 years, families in Carbondale and its surrounding area have used our 2 Hospital Street and 74 North Main Street locations for a traditional service, cremation or memorial services, or a service of personal preference. Contact Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated to handle every detail. When it comes to keeping your vehicle maintained and problem-free, Jerry's Tire and Auto Service in Carbondale has you covered. Call Jerry's for brake service, oil changes, state inspections, quality tires, wheel alignment, and rotation to enhance your vehicle's performance.
I'm Jerry Jablanowski. Call 282 Tire for dependable automotive service and name brand tires at Jerry's Tire and Auto Service in Carbondale.
Stop by at Jerry's Tire and Auto Service for all of your automotive needs. And, you know, the winter weather is not far off, folks. Now is the time to start thinking about getting those winter tires on your car. And for the best deal, stop at Jerry's Tire and Auto Service in Carbondale. Well, the injured player for Honesdale is on the far sideline. And we are set for more action here at Lakeland Stadium here in Week 6 of high school football. In this Lackawanna League Division II matchup with the Chiefs leading 14-0. Lakeland with great field position, operating from its own 32, second down and a yard to go. Spataro keeping the football, and there's a lot of real estate for him. He'll turn the corner. He's got the edge, and he will be tackled at the 8-yard line.
On the keeper. Brought down by Cameron Hedlund. Not to Lakeland, first and goal.
Now that's a
23-yard run.
And Lakeland now knocking on the door. Up by 14, first and goal from the Hornets 7-yard line. Spataro looking, and the pass falls incomplete. Kevin Snyder lost his footing at the goal line.
I think that pass
Otherwise,
was,
they had an easy 6.
Yeah.
Going to bring up second and goal from the 7.
Second down and goal for Lakeland coming up. Well, Glenn, if you are a defense playing against Lakeland, you really have to be on your toes because they will give you so many different looks.
They have so many weapons. They make it look so easy. That's preparation, Steve.
Spataro fires, and the pass is complete to Riley Rovinski near the 2.
John Siemens.
That's
Let's
Siemens.
check that Siemens on the reception.
Brought down by Cameron Hedgeland.
And they are now at the 2-yard line as Siemens will check out of the Lakeland lineup, along with Kevin Snyder. And on 3rd down and goal from the 2.
I'm giving this to Dupree.
Oh, absolutely. No. It will be
Keeper?
a keeper. Domenico Spataro on the quarterback keeper from 2 yards away. And the Lakeland Chiefs have a 20-0 advantage over the Honesdale Hornets. See, they fooled us.
I will
was
tell
just
you
talking
this.
about being a defense.
I'll tell you this. Looking at that play, the offensive line just blew the defensive line out from Honesdale back into the end zone there.
Zach Janowski once again on the field for the extra point. And it's perfect.
Is good. 10-21 left in the first.
21-0 Lakeland, your leader as we go to a break.
Pioneer City Insurance is now open at its new location, 620 Poplar Street in Mayfield. Independently owned and operated, Pioneer City Insurance offers personal insurance for auto, home, life, and commercial lines for businesses. Jennifer Cruzan Allen is there for you 7 days a week on Facebook, online at pioneercityinsurance.com, or call 570-282-2801 for Pioneer City Insurance at its new location, 620 Poplar Street in Mayfield.
Welcome back to Lakeland Stadium with Glenn Muskowski, Steve Young. Great to have you with us tonight on this beautiful Friday night for football. 10:21 to play here in this first half, and Lakeland is out to a 21-0 lead over Honesdale. Here's the kickoff by Janowski, and this will roll into the end zone for a touchback. Well, this has been what Lakeland has done all year. They get out to a quick start, and they don't look back.
Yeah, exactly, and it's demoralizing to a team that they're playing. And every one of those teams that they played, except for Old Forge, they started a little bit slow against Old Forge.
That was one of the first times they suffered a deficit this year, 6-0.
Yeah, and but then they came on strong and beat Old Forge at Old Forge, and that you have to be good to do that at Old Forge.
And the Hornets now from their own 20-yard line, 1st down and 10. They'll run the football, and nothing there. That was C.J. Hinton.
Hit on a carry brought down by Adam Warmouth in the backfield. Loss of 1 brings up 2nd and 11.
Lost a yard on the play, 2nd and 11 from the 19. So Honesdale right here, down 21-0 with under 10 to play in the first half on the Call Spall scoreboard. Aiden Collins will hand it off, coming to the near side. Mason Avery stopped at the 21 by the Lakeland defense, as Dupree was right there with the defensive pursuit for the Chiefs.
You know, if he gets some time, last week Collins passed for 181 yards, but he's not getting any time at all.
Now, Glenn, you take a look at this Lakeland team. They don't come along too often where they are this good, both offensively and defensively. So what we're seeing here is something special here at Lakeland Stadium. Collins to air it out, and that pass is intercepted, picked off by John Siemens. Siemens played it perfectly. And Lakeland will have the football at the Hornet 49.
Yeah, Siemens had plenty of time to get under. That thing was thrown way up in the air.
Lakeland back on the offensive attack with a 3-touchdown lead, 21-0 with 8:55 on the clock here in the first half. And Spataro will keep the football now, eludes a tackler, steps up in the pocket, dumps it off, incomplete, intended for Dupree.
Dupree was there. He just let him just a little bit. Had a little pressure, though. He had to get rid of that ball. Not a bad pass. Could have been caught, but it was just out of the reach.
CJ Hinton with the coverage.
Well, Glenn, before the game, once again, I had an opportunity to talk with Bob Spicer there on the near sideline. Wow, he's been pacing those sidelines
Mr. Chief
for many years. Always great to see Mr. Spicer before the football game. And this is Pochus with the football, carrying it to the Hornet 40-yard line.
About a yard short.
Now think of all of the football games that Bob Spicer has seen in his lifetime, Glenn, when you think about it. He has.
How far do you go back?
Oh, gosh, he's been on that sideline, pacing that sideline. He saw so many great games.
Since I've been doing this, he's been long before that.
Oh, gosh, he's
a great guy.
Yes, he is, absolutely. Third down and short yardage for Lakeland. Oh, look at this hit by the Honesdale Hornets.
And Pochus on a carry, met in the backfield by Bryce Stone.
Bryce Stone, the nose guard at 5'10", 210 pounds, with a collision at the line of scrimmage.
Hello, my name is Mr. Stone.
It's going to bring up 4th and 5 after a loss of 4.
That was a great hit.
Looks like Lakeland players want to go for it.
Well, that's
and maybe they are.
Well, that's a luxury you have when you have this kind of an offensive attack. 4th down and 5 from the Hornet 44, and the Chiefs want to talk this over. Timeout on the field with 7:23 to play in the first half, and Lakeland leads it 21-0.
Imagine a Wi-Fi system so good, you'll never have to think about Wi-Fi again. Introducing Adams Cable Enhanced Whole Home Wi-Fi. Eero's True Mesh technology doesn't just extend your Wi-Fi, it blankets your entire home with a wireless network that just works. With Adams Cable, you get an incredible connection that gives you the freedom to stream video, surf the web, get social, and play from any room. Never worry about Wi-Fi again with Adams Cable Whole Home Wi-Fi.
You deserve expert heating, cooling, and plumbing service. So, just call Spall. T.E. Spall & Son has been serving northeastern Pennsylvania with expert customer service for 36 years in all phases of residential and commercial heating, cooling, and plumbing. So, just call Spall for the expert service you deserve. Visit them at callspall.com. For service, remember, just call Spall.
Welcome back to Lakeland Stadium alongside Glenn Muskowski. I'm Steve Young. Great to have you with us tonight for week number 6 of high school football. 7:23 left in this first half, and Lakeland leads Honesdale 21-0. The Chiefs called a timeout to talk it over as they will face 4th and 5 from the Hornet 44-yard line. And Lakeland will go for it on 4th down. Spataro. The play clock at 10. Bit of a low snap. Spataro fires downfield. He has Siemens with a great catch at the 15.
Spataro's pass complete to John Siemens.
Siemens was wide open,
First down,
and Lakeland will sustain the drive with the first down.
Wide open.
Lakeland on the move with the lead and the football. First down and 10. Play clock at 5. And with 1 second on the play clock, Spataro sets, fires, passes complete at the 10, and it is a touchdown. John Siemens scores on a 14-yard touchdown from Domenico Spataro, and Lakeland now leads it 27-0 over Honesdale. Well, Glenn, sometimes they make it look easy.
Boy, don't they? Very impressive.
Zach Janoski with the extra point.
Janoski's kick is good.
And with 7:08 remaining in the first half, Lakeland has a 28-0 lead as we go to a break.
You deserve expert heating, cooling, and plumbing service. So, just call Spall. T.E. Spall & Son has been serving northeastern Pennsylvania with expert customer service for 36 years in all phases of residential and commercial heating, cooling, and plumbing. So just call Spall for the expert service you deserve. Visit them at callspall.com. For service, remember, just call Spall.
Well, Lakeland has taken advantage of every opportunity here in this first half, and they have jumped out to a 28-0 lead over the Hornets of Honesdale. Janoski's kick bounces at the 20 and will roll out of bounds at the 10.
It goes out of bounds.
Mason Avery was right there to let it roll out of bounds. And the procedure penalty will place the football at the 35-yard line and bring up first down and 10 for Honesdale. Oh, right here, Glenn, this is where they have to try to get something going if you're Honesdale. They have been shut down by this Lakeland defense throughout the first half. And they will run the football, but there is nothing there for senior running back C.J. Hinton. He met Dupree.
Lots of one brings up 2nd and 11.
So, Glenn, when you take a look at the schedule coming up for Lakeland, we'll run this down in just a moment for you. As Aiden Collins will have an I formation in the backfield. He'll give it to the fullback, and that is Aaron Phillips with the run, and he will have a first down for the Honesdale Hornets.
Aaron Phillips on the carry for the Honesdale first down, brought down by Ethan Shea.
Thus far, every opponent that Lakeland has played this year, they have really not had too much of a problem. No. Last week, of course, they were behind against Old Forge, but they got on track and won that one 47-20. And here, Honesdale will try to run the football, but Lakeland shuts it right down as Dupree is there to make the tackle, and C.J. Hinton. So starting next week, they will be on the road at Dunmore. I talked to head coach Dave Pawardzik regarding that game, and he said Dunmore is always tough. It's a rivalry game, and they're always tough. So that will be a bit of a test for Lakeland. In Week 8, they will play at West Scranton, as this pass falls incomplete as it was intended for Tyler Winters on the near side of the field. Week number 9, Western Wayne will come here to Lakeland. And Western Wayne has that type of a team that could give Lakeland a little bit of trouble due to the fact that they have size, they have speed, and they have a great running game.
Western Wayne is a good team.
They're a very good team, so we'll see how that plays out in week number 9. And we will have that broadcast for you here on Adams Cable. And in week 10, they will be on the road at Mid-Valley. So out of the next 4 opponents, 2 of the 4 could give Lakeland a game, as Collins will roll out and the pass falls incomplete. Winters, the intended receiver, once again.
Falls incomplete. Coverage on the play by Domenico Spataro.
When you're running for your life, you really have a difficult time trying to set up and make a pass. You're throwing it any which way to get rid of it, and it's all predicated on Lakeland speed and strength on their defensive side of the ball.
4th down and 12 for Honesdale, and the punting unit is on for the Hornets. Great punt. Bounces at the 35. It gets a Hornet roll and is downed at the 26-yard line.
Winters' punt is down by C.J. Hinton at the 26-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Chiefs.
And Lakeland will go back on offense, leading 28-0 with 5:23 to play here in this first half. It's homecoming here at Lakeland Stadium. The festivities took place before the football game. Well, Glenn, the season is moving along very rapidly.
Well, unbelievable. The 6th week already.
Well, right here, we'll see what Lakeland dials up on the 1st down play. Spataro fakes the handoff and lost the football, and the Chiefs pick it up. They get it back as Kevin Snyder picks it up, and a fumble on the play.
That is a terrible call. He bumped him out of bounds, but that was nothing. If he went and pushed him or something like that, they just bumped him. Maybe I couldn't stop. I wouldn't be too thrilled with that if right in front of me.
Penalty is going to result in a 1st down for the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's a big penalty. It will move the football to the midfield stripe and give Lakeland an automatic 1st down.
Wow.
Lakeland with 5:14 to play in this first half. 1st and 10. Spataro surveying the defense of the Hornets. Spataro fires the pass.
He's open.
And he has Siemens at the 15-yard line. And Lakeland strikes quickly on a 50-yard touchdown strike from Domenico Spataro to John Siemens. And it's 34-0. Well, Glenn, we're actually watching something special.
We certainly are, Steve.
You don't see a team like this come along too often.
And what I like about it, there's no panic. There's no hustle, running, getting nervous out there. Just go about, do your job. One thing didn't work, next thing will.
Zach Janoski for the extra point. And it's 35-0. The Chiefs as we go to a break on Adams Cable High School Football.
When you need collision repair, turn to the professionals at Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center to restore your vehicle back to its original condition. For over 34 years, Beston's has been providing full-service collision repair with exceptional customer service. At Beston's, their motto is, every job is perfect or it doesn't leave the shop. Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale, the trusted name in collision repair in northeastern Pennsylvania. Nick's Excavating and Paving of Carbondale is committed to providing professional service in residential and commercial excavating, land clearing and demolition, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Enhance your property with new paving and seal coating, mulch, or stone. For expert service on your next project, count on Nick's Excavating and Paving Carbondale.
And this kickoff by Lakeland will roll, I believe, into the end zone. Let's check where it goes out of bounds here. Did it actually go out of bounds, Glenn, near
like
the
2-yard line? The
2
referee dropped his hat
there. Yeah, it's marked at the 2, as the officials will talk it over at that point. But did he touch the football? That's a good point, as Chris Nanfelt was talking about that. Hey, we have to get the officials mic'd. We have to get mics on the officials.
Illegal procedure, Lakeland. What did Lakeland do on that? Did they knock the ball out? I don't know what they did.
Well, head coach Dave Pawarczyk having a word with the official right there near the 22-yard line. The football will come out probably near the 27 when play resumes. Now, I see Dave Pawarczyk has that white jacket on, Glenn. Now, earlier, probably about 5:30, 5:45, I was heading back to my vehicle. We needed a headset. And I mentioned to our cameraman, Gabriel, I said, I'll also get my jacket. And Dave said, jacket, it's beautiful. It's beautiful out here. Now, Dave did not have the jacket on at that time. He said, look at this. He said, coaches are in shorts. It's beautiful. And then before the game, I looked down and I saw Dave had that light jacket on. And he gave me that smile. I said, Dave, what's with the jacket? And he gave me that great smile. We had a lot of laughs. We have a lot of laughs out on the field. So the reason I thought about that, Glenn, is I look down in the stands and I see some of the fans putting the hoods up.
Well,
they're getting
cool.
wrapped up in like in a blanket.
It's supposed to be in the 40s tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be probably rainy and damp. You know the way that goes. Second down play coming up for Lakeland. 2nd and 11 from the Hornet 34. Collins will hand it off. Avery gets the call and carries the football to the 40-yard line. Mason Avery is only a sophomore, 5'10 and 150. Ran right into Warmouth. Adam Warmouth, 6'4", 285 pounds. Third down coming up for the Hornets as we near 4 minutes to play in the first half, and Lakeland leading 35-0. Collins looks to that far sideline on every play, and he will look to pass the football, and it falls incomplete. Cole Freese had it right in the palm of his hands and could not hang on to it.
Falling backwards and just out of reach.
Trying to reach for the football. Tough catch. Brings up 4th down for the Hornets. And the punting unit is on for Honesdale. Tyler Winters will get ready to punt the football from his own 26-yard line. Bit of a high snap. Great punt. Fair catch is called for at the 25-yard line.
Winters punt.
Kevin Snyder called for that fair catch. And Lakeland will go back on offense here with 3:34 left in the first half.
Going to bring up 1st and 10 from the Honesdale 26-yard line for the Chiefs. Lackawanna League score update. Dunmore 10, Mid-Valley 2 in the first half.
Pitcher's duel.
Yeah. You don't hear a score like that too often, Glenn. As Lakeland will go back to work offensively from their own 26-yard line. Spataro in the pocket.
He's open.
Oh, Dupree is open and could not make the catch.
Spataro's pass intended for Lakota Dupree. Ball's incomplete.
Sometimes you're too wide open. I think Dupree was really surprised that he was so wide open. And actually, the way he was turned a little bit made it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it was going this way, and it was thrown just a hair behind him. But it was laid right up there. Great pass.
Dupree did a great job getting open.
He'd like to have that one back, I'm sure.
Yeah, wouldn't you? If you were out there, right, you'd want that one back, right? Second down play coming up. Will they go to Dupree again? No, they'll go to the far side of the field. And Siemens cannot come up with the catch at the 30-yard line.
Siemens falls incomplete. Coverage on the play by
Johnny Kaufman, the free safety, coming up with the defensive coverage for Honesdale.
I'll tell you what, Spataro laid that right on the money that time. That was just a good defensive play for the defender to knock that ball out of Siemens' hands because he had it.
The incompletion stops the clock with 3:19 remaining. Thank you for joining us for all of the action of high school football here at Lakeland Stadium. Play clock now running down. It's at 2 seconds, and we will have a timeout on the field called by Lakeland as they lead this one 35-0.
Timeout Lakeland.
Carbondale Auto Parts and Honesdale Auto Parts are a proud supporter of tonight's game between the Honesdale Hornets and the Lakeland Chiefs. Honesdale Auto Parts will open at its new location, 180 Grandview Avenue, Monday, October 3rd, with a larger inventory of auto parts, hydraulic hoses, tools, accessories, and more parking with easier access. Experience the Napa know-how difference with Honesdale Auto Parts, open Monday, October 3rd at their new location, 180 Grandview Avenue in Honesdale. When you're there, be sure and say hello to Glenn Tonkin. Glenn ran the Carbondale store for so many years, and Glenn is over in the Honesdale store at their brand new location. Make sure you tell him everyone from Adams Cable said hello. And see him for the best deals on all of your auto parts that you need, whether it's for cars, trucks, SUVs, heavy-duty truck parts, farm equipment, machinery. They have it all at Honesdale Auto Parts. 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Chiefs from their own 26-yard line, leading 35-0.
Four wideouts on the right side for Lakeland again. We haven't seen that too often this year.
And Spataro will look to the near side. Dupree did he come up with the catch? No, incomplete.
Spataro's pass intended for Lakota
at the line of scrimmage.
Coverage by Cameron.
Well, Glenn, you take a look at how good Lakeland is, but these players, they played together now for so many years, coming up through the ranks, and they're almost like a family. They've been together so long.
That's key, Steve. They probably played midget ball. They probably played all the way up with each other, and they know exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, and timing is everything in football, with passing and all that stuff.
Lakota Dupree to punt, and this punt is blocked. And Dupree falls on it in the end zone.
Safety.
And it's a safety. Hornets came up, shot the gap.
By Bryce Stone.
Bryce Stone, we've heard his name so many times tonight, making defensive plays, and that time he blocked the punt. for a Hornets safety, and they are on the board with 3:04 remaining. They now trail 35-2. Well, I guess you never know what you're going to see in a high school football game.
3:04 left in the first half. Score Lakeland 35, Honesdale 2.
The middle of that defensive line has been getting some penetration there, and boy, what a perfect time to get it then. Dupree was quick enough to get back, fall on it to save a touchdown.
Well, Zach Janoski now will get set to put the football. Is he going to put it on the tee? I believe so. He had to go to the near sideline to get the tee.
You have the option to punt that or
kick it off.
Kick it, yes.
Now, Janoski is a good kicker. And this kick will take. We'll go back to the 30-yard line for Avery, and Avery draws a crowd at the 43-yard line. Honesdale Hornets back on the offensive attack, first down and 10, trailing 35-2 against Lakeland with 2:57 to play here in the first half on the Call Spall scoreboard. Hornets set to run their offense. Collins with a lot of time, sees an opening, looks to turn it upfield, and then is whacked at the 45. Chris Shamola came up to run him out of bounds.
Out of bounds by Chris Shamola. And a 1 on the play brings up 2nd and 9.
Second down coming up for Honesdale. Sophomore Aiden Collins now will hand off the football, and they will give it to C.J. Hinton right up the gut of the Lakeland defense, and he carries the football to midfield.
Gain of 5 for
C.J. Hinton on the carry, brought down by Andrew Gelderman.
So here in week 6, this is the first game in division play for all the divisions, Glenn. Divisions 1, 2, and 3 as they start division play.
There's some good games this week. Mid Valley's playing Dunmore, I believe. That's a rivalry game, sure.
And Collins under pressure fires the pass out on the near side of the field, intended
Collins pass
for Freese. Incomplete, and it will stop the clock with 2:07 remaining. Up next for Lakeland after tonight, they will be at Dunmore, and the Hornets will take on West Scranton.
Just remember back when Dunmore played without 12 players and won the game. Wow, that probably turned their team right around that day. Wow, that was about 3 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing how a football team can gain momentum, and now we will have a timeout called by Honesdale with 2:07 to play here in the first half as we go to a break on Adams Cable High School Football.
What does it mean to be an expert? Does it mean getting the job done right? Or being able to pinpoint a problem and quickly find a solution? Whatever the meaning, the team in NJS are your experts in hydraulic and pneumatic components. So whether you need a custom hose built on the spot or a cylinder repaired from the ground up, the experts at NJS are there when you need them. And with the area's largest hose and fittings warehouse, NJS has thousands of the parts you need in stock and ready to go. NJS Route 6 Mayfield, online at NJSco.com. NJS is proud to call this area home and proud to sponsor our area athletes on Adams Cable Channel 7.
NJS Systems and Controls in their big, beautiful brand new building on Route 6 in Mayfield. Be sure and tell Nick Cerniak and the staff at NJS, the sports team at Adams Cable said hello. Proud to sponsor high school football here on Channel 107. Hornets facing 4th down and 5 from their own 49-yard line, and they will go for it near midfield. As Collins sets, fires, passes off the mark. Cole Freese was the intended receiver, and he was going one way on a slant pattern, and the football went the opposite way, and Lakeland will take over possession of the football on downs with just about 2 minutes remaining.
I would be surprised they go for it all in the first play.
And we'll see how things play out right here, as Lakeland has a lot of options. And Spataro. Short pass, and what a great catch by Dupree. A one-handed grab at the 43-yard line of the Hornets. That's one for the highlight reel.
For sure.
Down by Tyler Winters.
Lakeland goes with that no-huddle offense throughout a football game, but here they're going to move much more quickly with 1:35 to play in the first half, and they lead it 35-2. And there is a
Honesdale timeout.
Honesdale timeout. We'll keep it right here.
Timeout, Honesdale.
Well, Glenn, going into this ball game, sometimes you take a look at numbers, and they could be deceiving. Coming into this game, Honesdale was second in Division II behind Lakeland, who leads the division offensively and defensively. And you figured with the size of Honesdale here tonight that they would be able to come up and maybe, shut down Lakeland here or there, but that was not to be. Lakeland continues to cruise here in this ball game.
It's hard to do that against Lakeland because of the so many weapons that they have, Steve, both offensively and, more importantly, you look in this game, Collins has no time to pass the ball. He's running for his life and trying to throw on the run, and that's a tough thing to do for anyone.
A lot of halftime scores around the area. One of interest is Riverside leading Carbondale 17-7 at the half.
Both have, I think they're both 2-3 with records, so comparable teams.
Lakeland with good field position once again on 2nd down and 3 yards to go. Domenico Spataro flushed out of the pocket in some trouble and makes a wise decision to run out of bounds.
Runs out of bounds.
Stopped there by head coach Dave Pororczyk.
Good play by coach.
Pressure supplied by Rocco Fluck and Bryce Stone.
3rd down and 3 for the Chiefs. Now, what do you do right here, Glenn? Do you go for the first down or head for the end zone?
Well, we got minute 24. I'd go for the first. I'd go for two plays here for a first.
Spataro as the protection breaks down, and he will take the sack. As the Hornets hold a team meeting on him at the 45-yard line.
Now my strategy might be changed. I don't think I'd be going for it now.
That was Bryce Stone, Bennett Fritz.
Samson Fluck in on the defensive play for the Hornets. Different situation now for the Chiefs. 4th down coming up and 13 with under 1 minute left
Like they're going
in the
for
first half.
It's a confident team. You can do that, right? I think they maybe
35-2 your score. Domenico Spatero eludes the rush, and he's in some traffic there and taken down at midfield. And the Honesdale Hornets will take over possession of the football on downs, 1st and 10.
Brought down by Aaron Phillips. Going to be a turnover on downs.
.28 seconds to play here in the first half at Lakeland Stadium. Long first half of football. The only points Honesdale has come up with was a safety against Lakeland. And on the first down play from Lakeland territory at the 49, Collins to throw. With time, now the pocket breaks down. He fires the pass incomplete.
And Collins escapes the pressure. Pass intended for Zach Gledhill. Ball's incomplete. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Zach Gledhill is a 5'8", 150-pound junior wide receiver wearing number 84 in the passing formation for the Honesdale Hornets. Clock stopped with 22 seconds left in the first half. Collins will go on an inside handoff to Avery. And Pochus giving chase around that far side, and Avery heading for the first down marker. He may have a first down, yes, and the chain gang will move the markers on the far side of the field with 12 seconds left. On first down, we will see what Aiden Collins and head coach Paul Russick will dial up right here. Do you go for the end zone?
might get 2 plays if it goes incomplete. You get a second one.
Here comes the heat from Lakeland, and this pass is complete on the near side of the field. And on the receiving end, Tyler Winters.
Tyler Winters brought down by Kevin Snyder on the play.
Snyder in on the defensive play for Lakeland to stop the clock with 4.1 seconds remaining. And another timeout. Well, our next broadcast will be from Lakeland when they take on the Western Wayne Wildcats in week number 9 of high school football.
Steve, I'm looking forward to that game. That should be a dandy.
Now, based on, we saw Western Wayne, we saw Lakeland. Naturally, we've had many of their games here, and Western Wayne, a very good football team, and they have size. They could run the football, and defensively, they're very physical, so that's an interesting matchup in week number 9. We will have that, and then we will end our regular season when Old Forge will come into the Pioneer City to take on the Chargers.
Yeah, that's how it's always nice to see Old Forge come up and play. Because I'll tell you what, for a school that small, they come up with teams year in and year out. It's all from.
It's all about pride.
Pride right from the heart they play.
Absolutely.
And what great. Fans they have. They'll go to war for their teams in Old Forge.
Yeah, we saw that during your basketball career as a head coach.
Oh wow, yeah, there were
great battles.
Some great ones there.
And Collins back to throw. The protection breaks down. Collins fires on the run, looking end zone. It's intercepted. Dupree picked it off for the Chiefs. And there he goes, and run out of bounds at the 32-yard line as time will expire here in the first half of today's Lackawanna Football Conference Division II matchup, as both teams will head to the locker room with Lakeland leading Honesdale 35-2 as we go to a break on Adams Cable High School Football.
The White's Crossing Sports Shop, Canaan Street in Carbondale, is the leading authority for the outdoors in northeastern Pennsylvania. Visit them for a complete line of archery accessories, hunting and fishing licenses, live bait, fishing tackle, and LEM meat processing supplies. Call 570-282-4699 and be sure to check out their Facebook page. Finding that unique seasonal outdoor item has never been easier with help from Tom and the staff at the White's Crossing Sports Shop. Providing the ultimate in professional service is a tradition at Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, Carbondale. For more than 50 years, families in Carbondale and its surrounding area have used our 2 Hospital Street and 74 North Main Street locations for a traditional service, cremation or memorial services, or a service of personal preference. Contact Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated to handle every detail.
Be announcing the homecoming princesses. Our first princess is Nina Girarelli. Nina is the daughter of Rob Girarelli and Amy Girarelli Fick. Nina has been a member of the football cheer team for 3 years. Nina is also a member of NHS, where she serves as vice president, yearbook club, basketball, cheerleading, FBLA, and SAD. Her achievements include the honor roll and community services. Nina's future plans are to major in biology at a 4-year university. Nina is escorted by homecoming prince David Brackman. David is the son of Aaron and Evan Brackman. David has been a member of the tribe for 3 years. David is also a member of the watershed team. His achievements include the Lackawanna River cleanup. David's future plans are to pursue a career in cybersecurity. Nina Girarelli and David Brackman. Our next homecoming princess is Taylor Grier. Taylor is the daughter of Lee and Ryan Grier. Taylor has been a member of the football cheerleading team for 3 years. Taylor is also a member of SAD, National Honor Society, FBLA, Student Council, the Mentor Program, basketball cheer team, and her achievements include Student Council President, basketball cheer team captain, and the High Honor Roll. Taylor's future plans are to attend a 4-year university. Taylor is escorted by homecoming prince Adam Wormuth. Adam's the son of Doreen Wormuth. Adam has been a member of the football team for 2 years. His achievements include being on the honor roll. Adam's future plans are to attend a 4-year college and major in sports medicine. That's Taylor Grier and Adam Wormuth. Our next homecoming princess is Brooklyn Mancuso. Brooklyn is the daughter of Jennifer and Michael Mancuso. Brooklyn has been a member of the cheer team for 4 years. Brooklyn is also a member of FBLA, SAD, NHS, Yearbook, Mu Alpha Theta, and the Mentor Program. Her achievements include being on the honor roll. Brooklyn's future plans are to attend a 4-year university to major in biology and pre-dental on the pre-dental track in hopes of becoming a dentist. Brooklyn is escorted by homecoming prince Kyle Leidy. Kyle's the son of Brenda and Richard Leidy. He has been a member of the football team for 2 years. Kyle's also a member of the National Honor Society, FBLA, Mu Alpha Theta, and the class secretary. His achievements include the High Honor Roll and FBLA states. Kyle's future plans are to attend a 4-year university for business. That's Brooklyn Mancuso and Kyle Leidy. Our next homecoming princess is Caitlin Passament. Caitlin is the daughter of Diane and Joseph Passament. Caitlin has been a member of the football cheer team for 3 years. Caitlin is also a member of SAD, FBLA, basketball cheer, FCCLA, NHS, Math Honor Society, and the Student Mentor Program and track. Her achievements include being football and basketball captain for the cheer team, NHS president, and High Honor Roll. Caitlin's future plans are to attend a university to pursue a degree in rehabilitation sciences and hopefully become a physical therapist. Caitlin is escorted by homecoming prince Kevin Snyder. Kevin is the son of Tim and Lori Snyder. Kevin has been a member of the football and basketball team for 4 years. Kevin is also a member of SAD, FBLA, and NHS. His achievements include being on the honor roll. Kevin's future plans are to attend a 4-year college. That's Caitlin Passament and Kevin Snyder. Our next homecoming princess is Rosina Perino. Rosina is the daughter of Kim and Luigi Perino. She's been a member of the Student Council for 6 years. Rosie is also a member of the varsity basketball and lacrosse teams, as well as NHS, FBLA, and SAD. Her achievements include honor roll and being awarded Most Improved Player on the lacrosse team. Rosie's future plans are to attend a 4-year college with a degree in the STEM field. Rosie is escorted by homecoming prince Justin Gazella. Justin is the son of Tammy and David Gazella. Justin has been a member of the baseball team for 6 years. Justin also enjoyed volunteering his time to help the Mayfield Little League. His achievements include being on the honor roll since 7th grade. Justin's future plans are to attend Keystone College and major in sports management. Rosie Perino and Justin Gazella. Right now, I'd like to announce our junior princesses and their escorts. Junior Princess Ava Albino. She is escorted by Senior Class President Zachary Kovaleski. Sophomore Class Princess Jules Grier, escorted by Senior Class Vice President Christian Dakatos. Freshman Class Princess Raina Walters, escorted again by Senior Class President Zachary Kovaleski. The man is busy. Would also like to announce that Riley McGowan, our 2021 homecoming queen, has returned to crown our 2022 homecoming queen for the 2023 school year. Can I get a drum roll, band? The 2022 homecoming queen, Taylor Grier. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, your homecoming princes and princesses.
It is halftime here at Chapman Lake at Lakeland Stadium in this Lackawanna Football Conference Division II matchup between the Honesdale Hornets and the undefeated Lakeland Chiefs, where Lakeland holds a 35-2 lead over the Honesdale Hornets. Well, Lakeland taking advantage of every opportunity in the first half of this ball game, and they have the comfortable lead as both teams are in the locker room for the halftime session. Glenn Muskowski will be along in just a moment with all of the statistics and the scoring summary for you. Just like to thank all of our great sponsors for making high school football possible. Of course, Adams Cable Service. By the Comfort Doctors, T.E. Spall & Son, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing of Carbondale. By Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center. Nick's Excavating and Paving. By your local Napa Auto Parts stores, Carbondale Auto Parts, and Honesdale Auto Parts. Honesdale Auto Parts in their new location opening Monday, October 3rd on Grandview Avenue in Honesdale. Also brought to you by NJS Systems and Controls, Route 6 Mayfield. By the White's Crossing Sports Shop. Folks, keep in mind, archery season opens October 1st. And get all of the supplies you need to make it a successful archery season at the White's Crossing Sports Shop. Stop in and see Tom Prozik, former Lakeland Gritter, for all of the accessories you need for archery season at the White's Crossing Sports Shop. Also brought to you by Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, by Pioneer City Insurance at its new location, 620 Poplar Street in Mayfield, and your starting lineups brought to you today by the Roselle Department Store. We will step aside and let you enjoy the halftime show presented today by the Honesdale Band.
Drum majors, are you ready to boogie woogie woogie?
the Honesdale Marching Band.
What a great halftime show provided by the Honesdale Marching Band. As, boy, a lot of great talent out on the football field tonight, not only between the two teams, but musically out there here in this football game. Well, we are at halftime in this Week 6 matchup, and the Lakeland Chiefs are out to a 35-2 lead over the Honesdale Hornets, Glenn. And right from the start of the football game, Lakeland took advantage of every opportunity they had, and they turned it into points.
Well, Honesdale, after Lakeland scored, Honesdale came out and had 2 blunders, 2 bad snaps, and that took them right out of the field position. They punted. Lakeland went right back in and scored right immediately on the second one, and then they're down. They're down a lot. We have some statistics, Steve, if you want me to go over them now.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. For Honesdale, Hinton has 6 carries for 7 yards. Mickle has 3 carries for -2. Avery has 5 for 16. And Collins has two carries. I wouldn't call them carries. I think he was running for his life. He had for -16, and Phillips has 1 for 12. Collins is 2 for 13 for 28 yards, and Tyler Winters has both catches. They had 5 first downs. They're 2 penalties for 30 yards, and they ran 26 plays. For Lakeland, Spatero carried the ball 9 times for 71 yards. Evan Poaches 7 for 42. Dupree for 2 for 8, and Kevin Snyder 1 for 17. Spatero had 2 running touchdowns, and Lakota Dupree had 1. Spatero was 10 for 16 for 218 yards and 2 touchdowns. The 2 touchdowns were caught by Siemens, who had 3 catches for 95 yards. Lakota Dupree had 3 for 68. Ravinsky had 1 for 12, and Kevin Snyder had 2 for 37. They had 10 first downs. They had 3 penalties for 25 yards, and they ran 36 plays. As of right now, it's the Lakeland dominance on the line, doing a really good job. But Honesdale came alive a little bit and stopped Lakeland towards the end of the first half with some good defensive plays, and the safety proved that they got to the ball, and if they fell on that ball, obviously it would have been a touchdown.
Well, Glenn, near the end of the first half, Honesdale came up with a couple of good defensive plays to sack Domenico Spatero with time running out in that first half, and we'll see how things play out here in the second half. But traditionally, Lakeland likes to, strike quickly, get that 35-point rule into effect, and get the game in the record book.
Well, if it wasn't for that safety, it would be into effect right starting this half. It was right on the button. But you come up to Lakeland, you better come to play, because they are ready. Coach Bortz and his staff are doing a really good job with these kids.
And if you notice, Glenn, in this football game, a lot of different looks from Lakeland. Yeah. Previously in the games we saw, they were throwing the football, and they almost looked one-dimensional to a point. And we talked about this on some earlier games, that they're not showing all of their cards. Now here in the last couple of weeks against Old Forge, they ran the football more. They only threw the football against Old Forge a total of 9 times. Here tonight, a lot of different looks. 4 receivers on one end, 1 receiver on the other end. They gave the defense of Honesdale a lot of different looks.
And as I said, Steve, Spatero running the show, he never panics. He does the job. He looks downfield. He surveys the whole situation, and he usually comes up with a good play.
Jeffrey Delgado Santos back to return for Honesdale.
35-2, your halftime score as we get set for the third quarter of play here at Lakeland Stadium. Janoski will kick it off, and this will be Avery on the return. No, his knee touched. He went down on one knee near the 14-yard line.
You could see the grass just come out from under his foot there. That's tough.
Not a good way to start the third quarter of play if you're Honesdale. You want to get some kind of a good return and get field position. And right here, the Honesdale Hornets will start this drive from their own 14, first down and 10. And we'll see what head coach Paul Russick came up with at halftime. Tough to run the football against this Lakeland defense. And it's Collins to hand it off. They'll go to the tailback for a short gain to about the 16-yard line. Gain of about 2.
Mason Avery on a carry.
Second down play coming up, 2nd and 8 for the Honesdale Hornets, trying to get some offense, trying to generate some offense here. And once again, they will run the football, and Lakeland is right there defensively.
Gelderman.
Aaron Phillips on a carry. Brought down by Andrew Gelderman. Domenico Spataro.
Now, Aaron Phillips is a 6'1", 240-pound senior fullback, and he's been unable to get on track in this football game. And it will result in a third down play coming up for the Hornets of Honesdale. Lance Peak is a wideout on the near side for the Honesdale Hornets. As Collins wants to throw the football, looking long, and he overthrows his intended receiver near the 40-yard line. And that was Cameron Hedgelon, the 5'8", 165-pound junior, the intended receiver.
Intended for Cameron Hedgelon.
And the incompletion will stop the clck with 10:22 remaining third quarter. And Lakeland up 35-2, and fourth down and 7 for Honesdale, and the punting unit will come on for the Hornets. See if Lakeland will bring the pressure right here against Tyler Winters. Winters gets it away. And from the 48-yard line, Kevin Snyder takes a knee. And Lakeland will commence this drive from its own 48-yard line, first down and 10. And we did have an update in high school football in that Carbondale game. Let's run that down. I believe they have made it to, we had a halftime score. Let's check this out. Western Wayne, Glenn, here's a surprising score. Western Wayne up 7-0 over West at halftime. Low scoring affair right there. Spataro, quick pass near side. Snyder has it across midfield. Snyder, thrown out of bounds, and there's the flag.
Horse collar?
Probably a horse collar, Glenn. Avery Mason looked like, or let's check that. Yeah, he was right there defensively.
Personal foul.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one.
Against Honesdale.
And that is going to give Lakeland excellent field position at the Hornet 24-yard line.
Honesdale 24-yard line. 50-50 tickets will be read out soon, the winning number.
So Lakeland up by 33 points right here.
Any score, and then we go to the
35-point rule.
Yep.
And Spataro will hand it off to Pochus. Lot of running room, and Pochus is dropped at the 15.
Pochus on a carry.
Well, the defense got to Pochus rather quickly, but not before he picked up some sizable yardage, about 7 or 8 yards on that play. Second down and 2 coming up for the Chiefs. Lakeland looking to strike quickly here in the third quarter with 9:26 to play on the Call Spall scoreboard. Lakeland goes to the ground. It's Pochus spun down at the 12.
First down.
Brought down by Tyler Winters. First down, Chiefs.
Rocco Fluck also
50-50 number
in on the tackle for Honesdale.
948-417. You can pick up your winnings at the concession stand. Once again, that's 948-417.
Lakeland trying to organize things now at the line of scrimmage. Up 35-7, new set of downs. Spataro with the hand clap, fires, looks end zone, incomplete. right at the goal line, and that was Dupree. Couldn't come up with it.
Falls incomplete.
Good coverage.
Well, will they go to Dupree again? Usually that's what happens.
Yeah.
I'll give him a second chance.
You don't want to give him a second chance. He'll come up with the play. He's a tough kid.
Sure is. Hodges in the backfield, along with Domenico Spataro. And he wants to fire the pass in the end zone. It's incomplete off the fingertips of Kevin Snyder.
Snyder seemed like he shorthanded that. He didn't keep his hands out there and didn't bring it in. He shorthanded it. So those two passes that could have been caught.
And the incompletion stops the clock with 8:44 to play in the third quarter. And John Siemens will be split wide on the top of your screen along with Riley Rovinsky. And on the near side, Dupree and company along with Snyder. Spataro with time. End zone. They go back to Dupree.
And he was wide open.
And he was wide open for a 12-yard touchdown.
Right off the line of scrimmage, he was wide open. A little fake to the right, and he cut right back to the center of the field. Beautiful pass.
And Lakeland is out to a 41-2 lead here at Chapman Lake. Zach Janowski is on for the extra point. Bit of a high snap. And the kick is perfect.
Janowski's kick is good.
Here in third quarter action, Lakeland scores on another touchdown as we go to a break.
When it comes to keeping your vehicle maintained and problem-free, Jerry's Tire and Auto Service in Carbondale has you covered. Call Jerry's for brake service, oil changes, state inspections, quality tires, wheel alignment, and rotation to enhance your vehicle's performance.
I'm Jerry Jablonowski. Call 282 Tire for dependable automotive service in name brand tires at Jerry's Tire and Auto Service in Carbondale.
Alongside Glenn Muskowski and the team from Adams Cable, Steve Young, great to have you with us tonight for week number 6 of high school football. And Lakeland is out to a 42-2 lead over the Honesdale Hornets. Janowski will kick it off. And from about the 12-yard line, the Hornets will go on the return. And out across the 30-yard line.
Delgado Santos on the return.
That was pretty good return by Jeffrey Delgado Santos. And the Honesdale Hornets now will try to get something going defensively with the football. First down and 10. Well, from this point on, my friends, we will have a running clock. And upon completion of the first half of an interscholastic football game at any level of competition or any time during the second half, when a team gains a 35-point differential over its opponent, the clock shall be stopped only when an official's timeout is taken, a charged timeout is granted, a period ends, or a score occurs. Once implemented, the 35-point rule remains in effect, even if the differential becomes less than 35 points.
Mason Avery on the carry.
So, Glenn, warm up the car if you have that remote started.
Yeah.
Because that clock is going to run, and we're down to 7:25 to play here in the third. And the Hornets facing second down. And they just get stacked up at the line of scrimmage as Avery has nowhere to go.
Mason Avery on the carry. Stood up by Lakota Dupree and Luke Smurl.
Well, Glenn, week number 6 of football. A lot of baseball still to be played. Mets and the Braves. What a great pennant race that is in the National League East.
Yeah, everybody's wondering, are the Mets going to hold on? Boy, they do have some pitching that they should.
I think they need one game, right? To
they need to go into the final series even or better.
I think they need to win one game, as this pass falls incomplete. It was intended for Cameron Hedgelon. So a lot of football, college football, baseball. Aaron Judge going for that record with Roger Maris.
He leads off the 6th inning, Steve, looking for the home run.
Still looking for...
That was the message I just got on my phone.
Who, from Ann, your wife?
No, I think from him.
Oh.
from Mr. Judge.
It's 4th down and 5.
No, that's actually the ESPN. I get all kind of stuff.
Winters
good
with a
punt.
great punt, and this is Ethan Shea on the return for Lakeland.
Good
as he
open field
carries the
tackle there.
football out to the 37-yard line.
Tackle on the play by Cameron Hedgelon.
So a lot of college football this weekend. Who does Penn State have? I didn't.
Northwestern.
Northwestern.
Then I think they have a bye, and then they come back with Michigan.
That's always where.
And the tale will be told.
Yes, that's where you get into some stiff competition. And Lakeland now with a 42-2 lead. And it will be the running game for the Chiefs as they will take the football. Kyle Leidy running the football as Nanowitz handed it off. Well, that was the game plan. Get the
Kyle Leidy on a carry.
Get the margin of points up over 35 for Lakeland. Then the second unit comes in now. As David Nanowitz, the freshman, 6'2" and 190, will quarterback the offense. He has seen a lot of playing time in the second unit for Lakeland, actually, as Leidy will carry the football once again.
Brought down by Bennett Fritz.
Well, and just how important is it for Lakeland to get that second unit in there, because you're building for the future. That's just valuable playing time. Most teams don't get a second team in there at all during a season.
They have probably had them in every game they played.
Second down for the Chiefs and 10. Nanowitz handing it off. Josh Ponce getting the call. Ponce is a junior, 5'7" and 180.
Josh Ponce on a carry. Brought down by Samson Fluck.
And we have under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
3rd and 6.
Third down and 6 yards to go for Lakeland and the second unit, as David Nanowitz will survey the defense of Honesdale. And Lakeland will run the football and come to the near side.
Caden Kuzo on the carry.
Caden Kuzo is a freshman running back getting the call.
Fluck.
So not only is Lakeland trying to claim a championship this year, but they all are also doing another thing that nobody realizes, but they're building for the future.
Sure, absolutely.
By getting that second unit in and all the valuable playing time. Nanowitz looks like, Glenn, like he will have a bright future for Lakeland, only a freshman. And he will punt the football on 4th down. It's going to bounce at the 20. It gets a Lakeland roll to back to the at the 19-yard line, and Honesdale will take over possession from that point, trailing 42-2 on the ball scoreboard with 3:41 remaining here in the third quarter. Wow, Riverside is out to a 31-7 lead over the Chargers, third quarter.
Well, Armstrong has got a good program going down at Riverside. You can't take them lightly ever.
Yeah, Harry Armstrong always could pull a rabbit out of his hat. Hornets will start this drive from the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. And the Hornets will run the football and advance it out to the 30.
Robert Quinn on the carry.
Robert Quinn is a sophomore at 5'8", 160 pounds. He lines up at fullback for the Hornets. Hornets have a lot of options when they are able to run the football. They have Quinn, Phillips, Avery, Mickle, and Hinton. And this time they will run it once again and go off left tackle. And it's Quinn again getting the call.
Robert Quinn on a carry. Brought down by Drew Cervenka.
Definitely got colder out here, Glenn. Took a look down in the stands. I see some people wrapped up in blankets, and the hoodies are up. You got the real Lakeland football weather now kicking in here in week 6. From this point on, Glenn, it's a roll of the dice when you come here. Quinn heading for the first down, and I believe he will have it.
On the carry.
As the chain gang will move the markers, and the Hornets will sustain the drive.
Picks up the first down for Honesdale.
We are nearing the 2-minute mark to play here in the third quarter at Lakeland Stadium at Chapman Lake. 42-2 your score. The Chiefs all over the Hornets.
As Jerry Wasilchuk, Coach Wasilchuk from years ago, it's how we say when you come up here. It's football.
It's football.
It's football.
And you don't have weather here. One time, Jerry said, we don't have weather here. We have atmospheric conditions. As Robert Quinn will run the football. When we do the Call Spall game time atmospheric conditions, we might have to make that change. That was funny because back in the day on a Saturday afternoon, there was no better place to be for a high school football game, especially in the fall here on a beautiful day with the leaves turning and two good football teams on the field. Great place on a Saturday. Lakeland went to lights later, and just a great atmosphere here on a Friday night.
Jeffrey Delgado Santos on the carry, brought down by Josh Ponce.
As Honesdale continues to run the football, and with 51 seconds to play in the third, they will face third down and short yardage. Aiden Collins still running the offense for the Hornets. And they will run the football right up the middle with a flag on the play.
Delgado Santos on the carry, brought down by Mason Matus.
First down, well, what do we have? Probably a hold.
Collins holding against
there it is. And that will move the Hornets back to their own 41. And it will result in the third down play coming up. We'll see if Honesdale will get this play off before time expires here in quarter number 3. Clock down to 15 seconds. Collins talking with his tailback. And he will fake the handoff, fires the pass near side. It is complete. And carrying the football is Samson Fluck inside the 40-yard line, and that will bring an end to quarter number 3 here at Lakeland Stadium as the Chiefs lead the Hornets 42-2 as we go to a break.
Pioneer City Insurance is now open at its new location, 620 Poplar Street in Mayfield. Independently owned and operated, Pioneer City Insurance offers personal insurance for auto, home, life, and commercial lines for businesses. Jennifer Krzan Allen is there for you 7 days a week on Facebook, online at pioneercityinsurance.com, or call 570-282-2801 for Pioneer City Insurance at its new location, 620 Poplar Street in Mayfield. You deserve expert heating, cooling, and plumbing service. So, just call Spall. T.E. Spall & Son has been serving northeastern Pennsylvania with expert customer service for 36 years in all phases of residential and commercial heating, cooling, and plumbing. So just call Spall for the expert service you deserve. Visit them at callspall.com. For service, remember, just call Spall.
Back at Lakeland Stadium, where the fourth quarter is about to get underway, and the Chiefs leading this one 42-2 over the Honesdale Hornets. Hornets now with a first down and 10 from the Lakeland 38-yard line. Collins will hand it off, and Delgado Santos on the carry. Well, Glenn, I think it is safe to say we can go with our call Spall play of call of the game.
Well, I'd say this, Steve. The call Spall play of the game with 5:05 left to go in the second quarter. Spataro hit Siemens on a 50-yard touchdown pass that pretty much broke Honesdale's back.
And that is your call Spall call of the game here in week number 6. Delgado Santos around the far side for the first down for the Hornets.
Delgado Santos on the carry. Brought down by Robert Smith. Not till Honesdale, first down. Ladies and gentlemen, the freshman class bake sale has a sale going on now. $1 for anything on the tables there. $1 for anything on the tables. Go get your baked goods for the ride home.
Wow, that's a great deal.
Where's Anthony?
Yeah. There wouldn't be anything left on the table by now. As Delgado Santos, I believe, will take the handoff for the Hornets.
Delgado Santos on the carry, brought down by David Nanowitz.
If you're just tuning in, Lakeland has scored almost every time, taking advantage of every opportunity in this football game, leading 42-2 as we near the 10-minute mark remaining here in the fourth quarter. Collins on the second down play. Oh, let's check that. They lost the football. And Lakeland may have it. Let's wait and see as the players battle for it. Honesdale may keep the football.
Yep. At quarterback.
Jackson Morton, I believe.
Yeah, that's who he's been in there.
Wearing number 15.
Yep. I think he tried to hand that ball off before it came back from the center.
And Morton now will direct a little bit of traffic. And he'll go to the far side, and this pass is complete. Conlon Keast on the receiving end for the Honesdale Hornets. He's a sophomore wide receiver, 5'10" and 150 coming up with the catch.
Morton's pass complete to Conlon Keast.
Well, Honesdale would like to keep this drive going and punch the football into the end zone and score a touchdown because they have been shut down thus far. And this handoff, Robert Quinn.
$15 yards for Quinn.
Well, this is an opportunity for Honesdale to score. as the clock is winding down.
Gonna bring up first and goal.
Nearing 8.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Lakeland on its way to its 6th win of the 2022 season. Bit of a high snap. They will run the football, but the play breaks down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a tough snap. Took the timing right off that whole play.
Well, Jackson Morton, 6'1", 170-pound senior, running the offense for the Hornets. And Morton, off the play fake, will roll out looking end zone. Nobody there. A bit of a mix-up. Good coverage by Lakeland.
I think the receiver stopped. He didn't really go after that ball.
Large pass intended for Zach Gledhill. Falls incomplete.
It wasn't a bad pass.
And good rollout on the play to buy some time. Hornets right now. 3rd down and goal from the 4. They hand off the football, and getting the call, sophomore Robert Quinn. Close, but could not take it into the end zone.
Probably right on the 1-yard line.
It's going to be on the 1. 4th down and goal from the 1 for the Hornets. Well, Quinn will line up in the backfield. Now Morton will await the snap on 4th and goal. They will give it to Quinn. He fumbled the football. On 4th down, they coughed it up, and Lakeland will take over possession. So that was a golden opportunity for the Hornets to punch it into the end zone, and they came up empty.
They had that ball for probably around 12 plays, and it's a shame that the way it ended with a fumble. Again, timing with the second team, and that's where they learn. But
now Lakeland will take over possession of the football with 6:45 to play here in the fourth quarter on the Call Spall scoreboard, leading 42-2. And Lakeland will run the football, and here comes Nanowitz, and he is slammed to the turf.
Brought down by Mason Avery.
Avery coming up to make the tackle for the Hornets. Well, you know the game plan right here, Glenn. You're just going to go with the ground game and
just
keep that clock running as the 35-point rule is in effect. And as we near 6 minutes to play, Lakeland will look down the barrel of 2nd down and 3 from their own 11. Nanowitz taking the snap. This time he'll roll to the far side and turns the corner for a good gain on the play.
Brought down by Bradley Zavala.
Coming up next week, Lakeland will travel to Dunmore to take on the Bucks. And boy, you talk about two teams that have had memorable battles over the years. It's Lakeland and Dunmore. That will be next week. Then in week 8, the Chiefs will be on the road at West Scranton. Week number 9, they'll take on Western Wayne. We'll have that telecast for you here on Adams Cable, Channel 107. As Nanowitz will drop back to throw with time. Pass falls incomplete. And then in week 10, they will be on the road at Mid-Valley. Remaining games for the Hornets next week. They will host West Scranton and then Mid-Valley. Week 9 at Dunmore. And then in week number 10, Honesdale and Western Wayne. That's always a big rivalry game, Glenn, when those two get together, the Hornets and the Wildcats.
Yeah. Wayne County Championship, right?
Absolutely. Nanowitz dumps off the pass to the near side. And out to the 20-yard line they go.
Nanowitz' pass is complete to Gavin Roberts.
Gavin Roberts is a freshman in the ball game for Lakeland, wearing number 21. He'll be a wideout on the near side of your screen. And it's Nanowitz in the pocket. Perfect pass off the mark. Maiden Millar, sophomore, the intended receiver. And we are down to 3:49 and counting. Time remaining in this football game. As Lakeland looking to get this game in the record books and remain undefeated with a perfect 6 wins and no losses. Nanowitz trying to punt the football, and it was partially blocked as he punted it right into a defender. Yeah, so the Hornets may have another opportunity to get the ball in the end zone.
They tried that short snap and tried to punt it. They got away with it the first time, but not that time. You got to be precise. While you punt it into the back of your lineman, yeah.
After the 4th down.
First down for the Hornets from the Lakeland 15. Now right here, the Hornets would love to get that football into the end zone. They couldn't do it on their last possession, and they have 3 minutes and 24 seconds to do it right here. Now here we go as Jackson Morton trots in from the far sideline with the play from head coach Paul Russick. This time, Morton will come up under center with an I formation in the backfield, and he fumbled the football.
Fumble on the play.
Well, Morton pulled away a little early from the center. Ball came out, but I believe the Hornets maintained possession.
Steve, I'm looking at my phone here. Yankee fan?
Yes.
2-1, Baltimore.
Baltimore's
top of the 7th.
Baltimore has played great baseball in the second half of the season. As the Hornets try the ground game once again, and 3rd down is on the way.
Yankees only have 3 hits in the game. They aren't hitting. They better.
Well, when you get in the playoffs, if you play Houston, you better hit the baseball. Don't. Well, Glenn, they're a home run hitting team. That's the way they're built, and they rely on the home runs. So if you face good pitching, you better bring your A game. Right here, 42-2. Lakeland, your leader, with exactly 2 minutes to play. Morton in some trouble and is taken down on the play.
I'll tell you what, he's having a tough time get that snap getting back to him, and when he's in the shotgun there, it's almost over his head every time.
Brought down by Ethan Roberts in the backfield.
Well, that's it's hard. You know, it's actually hard to get timing going when you're a second unit and you're practicing during the week. Game situations is where things will really come into play, and they'll work that out. It all comes with experience and more playing time. 4th and 15 now for the Hornets. From the Chief 20-yard line. Morton with the pass, and at about the 12, they come up with the reception. That was a great catch. That was
brought down by Gavin Roberts.
Zach Gledhill, Jr. on the catch. 1:01 left. First down and 10 from the 12-yard line for Lakeland with 1:01 left. Lakeland's second unit, boy, they have seen a lot of playing time this year. As David Nanowitz will set the line of scrimmage and take a knee. And the remaining 48 seconds will begin to tick away, and Lakeland will remain victorious through 6 games as they improve their overall mark to 6 wins and no losses, while the Honesdale Hornets will fall to 3 wins and 2 losses. So here at Lakeland Stadium, David Nanowitz will take another knee, and that will do it, as Lakeland will win it tonight over Honesdale by the score of 42-2. Congratulations to head coach Dave Pawarczyk and the Lakeland Chiefs on the big victory. And Glenn, your final thoughts on today's game?
Well, as the way Lakeland's been playing all year, they came out quick. They got 2 quick scores, put the Honesdale deep in their territory. They didn't come out very well. They had 2 bad snaps. Lakeland goes up 14. Then they come back in the second quarter and they score again, and some long passes. It's just like a day of work for Lakeland, and you better be ready, because when this team comes in to play you, they are very well prepared.
And that is going to wrap it up here at Lakeland Stadium. And it's all been brought to you today by Adams Cable Service, by the Comfort Doctors, T.E. Spall & Son Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing of Carbondale, Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center, Nick's Excavating and Paving, by your local Napa Auto Parts store, Carbondale Auto Parts, and Honesdale Auto Parts, by NJS Systems and Controls, Route 6 Mayfield, by the White's Crossing Sports Shop, Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, with locations at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, by Pioneer City Insurance at its new location, 620 Poplar Street in Mayfield, and your starting lineups for today's game presented by the Roselle Department Store. Your final score once again here at Lakeland Stadium, the Chiefs 42 and Honesdale 2. For Glenn Muskowski, Chris Nanfelt, Claire Seymour, Kyle Kammerer, and Gabriel Suarez, I'm Steve Young. Till next time, so long from Lakeland.